We got 4 games on this NBA slate tonight. A little Thursday night fun, some fun action. Luka Doncic going up against the Brooklyn Nets. So we're breaking this all down for no house advantage and specifically looking at their versus the house contest offering. So we'll give you some of our top picks coming up here. I'm Pete McCarthy. Hey, give us a like, subscribe to all of our videos here in the OddsShopper channel. We got DFS offers, giveaways. Once you do subscribe, hit that notification button. That's going to give you alerts when our shows go live. We got a lot happening right now. Obviously, NBA, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball World Series starting up on Friday night. So be sure to keep in touch of what's happening in all these sports and get the best advice possible when you're putting in your picks on various sites. Don't forget that almost all of our content is available in podcast form, which means you can take us on the go to the gym, be on the treadmill, keep up on what's happening, get the latest news and advice for building, whether it be DFS offers or bets, right? Help us out by leaving a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts as well. So again, no house advantage. You can play versus the house. You can play the pick'em contest as well. If you're interested in the pick'em contest, we got a video over on the Stochastic DFS channel to help you out on this Thursday night. Against the house, look, the margins get a little tighter, right? It gets a little tougher to find an edge and to find an area where you can hit potentially 5 of 5 and get 21 times your money. But we're going to do what we can to help you out here. So we'll begin with Ja Morant. Boy, I hate going against Ja Morant, but you know, the number's pretty high here. 32.5 points is the line on Ja Morant when you're playing versus the house. That is a ginormous number. Look, he kind of deserves it, right? He's reached at least 30 points in 3 of his 4 games. The Grizzlies are going up against the Sacramento Kings tonight. The Kings have, I think, a little bit of uncertainty, which we'll get to later with rookie Keegan Murray making his first career start. So, you know, Ja Morant, look, our projections have him under 30 points in this game. Is it a huge gap between 32.5 and a little more than 29.5? No, not with points. You're looking at, 10% difference there. But I do think you have room to get under. I always like our projections. It's stochastic when it is the points and you are on the underside of that to some degree. But I just found that stochastic does a great job projecting points specifically, and it tends to be rather consistent. So when you see, the kind of gap that you have here, it's not huge, but it is significant. We can get under that with Ja Morant. And look, he's played outstanding basketball. Do you feel good about going on the under with Ja Morant? No, not necessarily, but I think this is the play that you have to go with. Looking at the projections, looking at what Desmond Bane has been doing as well, it's not as if Ja Morant has to do all of the lifting in this Memphis Grizzlies offense. So you have some other contributors there for the Memphis Grizzlies. And, we'll see if the Kings can hold Morant under 32 points tonight, under 33 points really tonight. So that's what we're looking at. That's what the projections say. And that's what I'm liking when you look at the options that you have to go against the house. If you haven't played on No House Advantage before, as I mentioned, there's 2 ways to play. You can play the pick'em contest. You got to pick 10 different props, 10 different players. You're playing against other people. So you go 100% and you have confidence in each pick, 10, 9, 8, 7, all the way down to 1. 55 points is a perfect score. Some nights 55 points take you home a lot of bacon. Sometimes 55 points won't bring you home a lot because you're tied with 100 people at the top of the board. So, there you're not just looking to be correct. You're looking maybe to get a little contrarian, be a little different than everybody else, just like, DFS tournaments where you're going up in those big GPPs. So you're playing against people there. Obviously, if you're playing versus the house, it's just straight up get it right. And you want to get, if you play 5, you're going to get 5 of 5. You can get 21 times your money. So you can check out No House Advantage. You can download it as an app. You can play nohouseadvantage.com. You can play NFL. We got baseball props up there now for the World Series. Obviously, NBA, Thursday Night Football, as I mentioned with the NFL. So be sure to check all of that out. And you get yourself a $50 first match deposit bonus. So you put in $50 if you haven't signed up yet, and they'll give you $50 to play with on top of that. So be sure to check that out at the link below. All right, so I mentioned the Kings. We got some uncertainty here, right? With Keegan Murray being entered into the starting. Harrison Barnes is one player that might very well be affected. He's still expected to be in the starting lineup tonight for Sacramento. The rebounding line is down to 4.5 on Barnes. I think we go over on that. The projections like the over. I thought last game was interesting for the Kings. They left Barnes and Domantas Sabonis on the bench for most of the fourth quarter against the Golden State Warriors. So Barnes only played 21 minutes. Now, based on what head coach Mike Brown said afterwards, that was matchup dependent against Golden State with the way that game was going. So, it's something to keep an eye on. But for now, I'm going to throw last game out the window and say Harrison Barnes still has his role. I mean, I don't think you're going to see Sabonis on the bench in a big way. And Barnes will be able to play enough to get to 5 rebounds tonight. Again, our projections like that in the games previous to that last one against Golden State, Barnes had played 30-plus minutes, had 7 rebounds, 8 rebounds in those 2 games. We're not looking at a huge sample size at this point in the season, but if Harrison Barnes gets the playing time, getting to 5 rebounds tonight shouldn't be much of an issue for him. So let's make that happen, see that happen. And again, our projections like him close to 6 rebounds tonight. And we'll see how Keegan Murray entering into the starting lineup is going to affect everybody else. Another player looking at with the Kings, De'Aaron Fox. So you could look at his assist line. You could look at his points line. I'm looking at the points. If you're adding in somebody with Keegan Murray's ability, maybe Fox doesn't have the same opportunities to put up a ton of points tonight. And we have a high number at 27.5. And look, through the first 3 games, Fox has scored 26 points, 36 points, 33 points. He's been over this in 2 out of 3, but Murray didn't play in those games. And I got to think Murray's going to take some usage away from Fox in this game. So we're going to go under on the points with De'Aaron Fox. It's a really big number, something that has maybe inflated De'Aaron Fox's points total so far this series. He's shot really well from 3. That is not exactly his track record over the years. Maybe he did a lot of work in this offseason. He'll be a sharpshooter all of a sudden, but I'll believe it when I see more of it. And for now, I'm going to look at that and say his points total is a little inflated with what he's done these first 3 games with Keegan Murray entering into the fray. Some fewer opportunities for De'Aaron Fox. I'll go on the 27.5 points here. You can check out all of our projections at Stochastic. Go to stochastic.com. Go to that NBA tab. You go down to betting, no house advantage. It'll give you all the projections for these players and where they fit in the pick'em contest, at least as far as the lines go, their percentage chance of hitting this. But that'll give you the opportunity versus the house to figure out what's a good pick, what's not. I've done some of the work based on the numbers that we have for you already, which I'm sharing with you on this video, right? So I like the under De'Aaron Fox here. And I'll give you one more. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 27.5 points is his line. It's just a little high. I feel like I'm hating on everybody tonight going under all these point totals, but we're looking at under 25 points for Gilgeous-Alexander. Look, he's scored at least 28 points in the 3 games that he has played, so it's not a great trend line here. Just played against the Los Angeles Clippers, had a huge game against them. Neither Paul George or Kawhi Leonard played that game. We know that Leonard will not play tonight. Paul George could play. That's going to be something to watch and maybe actually have some decent defense on Shai tonight if Paul George is able to go. So keep an eye on that as you get maybe closer to game time. But if you're putting it in during the day, I think it's reasonable to expect under 27.5 points here from Shai as he goes up against these Los Angeles Clippers. Another one I'll just say keep an eye on as the day goes on if you're going to be doing these picks a little later. Spencer Dinwiddie, 17.5 points. I think you can go over or under that depending on whether Tim Hardaway Jr. plays. So last night, Hardaway Jr. did not play. Dinwiddie went off for 24 points. He's going to get a lot of minutes if Hardaway does not play. As of this morning, Hardaway is questionable with right foot soreness. Obviously, he just didn't play last night, so maybe it's not all that likely that Hardaway gets in there, so you can play for the over on some of these Dinwiddie lines and see where you want to go there. But I think that's going to be one of those injuries to really keep an eye on that's going to affect somebody that you can get and go against the house here on No House Advantage. Again, remember, we got those free projections for you, a lineup uploader too if you're playing in the Pick'em contest, so you can take advantage of all the overlay at No House Advantage. Be sure to take advantage of that. And again, sign up now with the link below. You get yourself a first match deposit bonus of up to $50. Good luck tonight.